The apothecary confronts Lady Fingming the next day. She asks her how Ah Duo's baby died all those years ago. She also reveals to the maid that her father was the attending physician at that time when Ah Duo gave birth. Mamao deduced that the Empress Dowager gave birth the same time as concubine Ah Duo. Apparently during the birth the Empress was given higher priority, and so Ah Duo had to wait. This delay must have caused the concubine to loose her uterus, and her child perishes soon after. Now Fingming is surprised that Mamao was able to figure out the whole thing. Turns out that the maid is responsible for the death of the child, since she unknowingly fed honey thinking it to be good for the newborn baby. After the death of the child, Luomen, Mamao's father, was blamed for the repeated mistakes and was expelled from the rear palace. But then later the maid, she learned of the actual cause of the death of the baby, that she was responsible. Fingming wanted to cover up the fact and prevent Ah Duo from finding out. So she tried to eliminate concubine Li Shu at the garden party. Seems that she and Li Shu were pretty close, and when the maid hears from her about how she almost died as a child from eating honey, to make sure that Ah Duo never hear of this, she started chasing away Li Shu from the Garnet Pavilion. But in a turn of events, she came back as a high-ranking concubine, much to the maid's distress. She tried and visit Ah Duo many times. To protect her secret, Fingming poisoned Li Shu's soup. Realizing that there is no way out of this, she accepts her fate. Fingming turns herself in. Ah Duo has already been determined to leave from her position as the concubine. That night she get drunk with Mao Mao in the palace walls. The death of the servant girl was no murder, it was suicide. She did it to take away the suspicion from Ah Duo. The apothecary thinks that maybe the maid had helped set it up. Regardless of Ah Duo's wishes, there are those who are prepared to give away their lives for her. She returned the crown before she leaves the rear palace. Mamao notices that Jinshi and the concubine looked alike, and she remembered her conversation with her the previous night. How she said that her son left her, that would mean that the babies got swapped, and that would make Jinshi her son. Now before she leaves, Li Shu came running to her, to see her once again.